As requested, here's a little peek at my closet door, everyone. I needed to have something bigger to put all of the lawsuits that are being filed against the Trump administration. The best thing that I could find was my closet, so here we go. It's in a hallway and it's creaky, so what I have listed out are the complaints right now. It's a pink sticky note here. It means that it has to do with the birthright citizenship or the anti-immigrant executive order. So pink for the immigration hatred. Now these little flags, the yellow ones, mean there's some kind of an injunction or a restraining order that has been put into place. If it's got a little yellow tag but with a check mark, like we have a couple up here, the Guantanamo ones, where they have asked for an injunction, restraining order, and it is pending. So if it's just straight up yellow, it means that it's already been granted. If it's got a check mark. So here, as an example, we have the Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legislative Services versus NOAM, and then I've got the case number there, and this has to do with the executive order on the prohibition of seeking asylum, and this is the executive order number there, 10888. So that one does have a request for a restraining order / injunction. But it's being contemplated right now. There is not one officially in place yet. So that's kind of my system I'm using here. So again, all the pink are the anti-immigrant executive orders. And again, I'm just listing out the complaints that have been filed. And then we get to the next row of green, which have to do with any kind of abolishing government or undoing any kind of agencies, withholding funds, and that kind of thing. So anything where the federal government is being fundamentally changed, those are green sticky notes. And there are quite a few here that have Doji involved, and those have a little orange highlighter there. We have, let's look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's all of them. 15 separate Doji lawsuits that have been filed for, privacy rights and the fact that there isn't any executive authority that's allowing Mr. Musk to do the things that he's doing. So there are a lot of lawsuits that have been filed so far. And of course, and you can see too, all of the restraining orders that have been filed. Again, the little yellow flags with the checks means that they are still processing or still going through the courts to make that determination. So the Doge access is a hot topic. We also have the Schedule F career employees. So lots of employees who have been fired and let go. Many are suing. We've got a lot of unions in here suing. We've got a couple cases here where we have information is being asked of certain employees, and they're saying, I'm not sure that we're comfortable giving that information out. So we've got a couple of those lawsuits. One's involving the FBI. Let's see, dismantling of the Consumer Protection Bureau, large-scale reductions here. And on each one of these, I have the executive order. If there is an executive order, some of these are memos or just executive action, not necessarily an executive order. So, but if there is an executive order attached, I have just put out the EO and then the number there. Again, we've got a lot of people are frustrated here with the Musk man. And then down here, another green one, meaning again, government dismemberment, I guess. That's not the right word, but we have the termination of the Inspector Generals. We have a Freedom of Information Act being requested. So we have that request out there. Removal of independent agency leaders for the National Labor Relations Board. And then we have dismantling the USAID. Also dismantling the USAID here. So this is the AIDS Vaccine Advocacy Group. Over here is Global Health. Over here we have people who've been fired. So they've been confirmed by the Senate to have a 5-year term. And And that 5-year term is not up. And this one in particular is the Office of Special Counsel. But even though their term's not up, they have been fired. So there's a lawsuit. Again, those yellow tags meaning that there are restraining orders or injunctions that have been ordered. So everything has to pause. Next, we have more dismantling of U.S. aid under that executive order. We have another person who was removed from their job, and this was someone who was working in the merit system. So there you go. Lots of people suing after being wrongfully terminated. Yikes! And then the next row down, we have this question on the deferred resignation program. Some people are calling it the fork program. Some people meaning like, the courts. That's being debated right now. And then these three here are the frozen federal funds. You can see we've got 2 injunctions and 1 injunction being contemplated. These 3 cases have to do with the executive orders that came out stating everybody needs to stop using federal funds because we want to reassess. The New York case here is the one where the court said, dudes, you're not complying. I'm going to need you to comply with a court order or there's going to be trouble in River City. So this New York case is the one to kind of watch out for. And then we've just got a couple more over here where they're saying we've had some significant harm done because of these federal funds that have been frozen illegally in violation of the Constitution. So again, I've got about 15 more cases to add to this that I need to go through and brief, and then I'll put up the sticky note in the place. Over here, I've just got a few other categories. We've got answers, so these are the complaints that you need to have an answer, and then court orders. If the plaintiff we're waiting for the plaintiff to file, waiting for the defendant to file, and then court proceedings. We have a ton of dates being set up for when hearings are going to be for these restraining orders and injunctions and various other things. So, it's a lot, but it's very interesting because when I set it out here, again, this is my closet. I put up on my closet and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of cases. And I'm not even done. These are we haven't even gotten into the targeted LGBTQ plus community. There's a lot there. And we also have some civil rights situations going on as well. So those aren't even up here yet. But there you go. There's an inside peek at my wall of hatred. So all of the lawsuits being filed for the executive orders. I'll keep you posted on these cases, and once I add my next set, I will update everybody. So there you go.